What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Getting into this episode of Days of Our Lives. This was a shit show. Like it really was. It was a cluster. Um, I understand Ben. He's in love with Sierra or whatever. I get it. But and Clear wants to help him or whatever, slow down the divorce process. But it's kind of too late now because thanks to Victor's judge friend, he basically pushed through with an annulment or whatever. Um, Honestly, if I was Ben, I would let that booty go if I was him because at the end of the day, I don't see why he would want to stop this wedding. I mean, Sierra has been a stone cold witch to him ever since she came back. Like she's been treating him like utter trash since she came back, and I just feel like he need to let that go. There's no point in crashing her wedding. If she gets her memory back and she remembers the love that y'all had and she comes back to you on her own, let her come back. You know what I'm saying? Let her do it on her own. Don't force it. Don't pop up at the wedding. Sierra, take me back. We're in love. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because chances are, you're just pushing her more and more into rebellion when you do that. When you keep trying to force her to come back to you, you're just pushing her further and further away. Let her stay gone. If she wants you back, let her come to you this time. You've tried everything to keep her. It hasn't worked so far. So let her do the work now. If that's really what she wants. If she gets her memory back and hey, she wants to come back, go for it. But don't force it. Um so anyway, even Chad and Allie know that this is some bull crap. They know that this marriage between Theo and Sierra is a mistake. It's a mistake for a bunch of different reasons. Like Sierra is doing the absolute most. Sierra's sitting here talking about, oh, I don't remember marrying Ben on that day. But it's so funny how she says she doesn't remember marrying Ben on that date, but she claims that she wants to take that date back because she doesn't want to think about that day and think, oh, this is the day I married Ben. She wants to think, no, this is the day I married Theo. That's so stupid and contradictory. It's so dumb. If you don't remember marrying Ben on that day, but you know that that's your wedding anniversary, why not just marry Theo on another day? You know what I'm saying? Like, or the day after that date. You know what I'm saying? Or 2 days after that date. Why does it have to be specifically that date? Like you're doing that to piss Ben off. That's all you're doing. Even Ben knows it. She's doing it to try to rub his face in it and to get back at him. That's all she's doing it for. And people are calling her out on it, and she just wants to come up with excuses. No, that's not the reason. Yes, it is. You trying to act funny, and it's not gonna work. Um, and at this point, she's sitting there talking about, oh, I don't want to remember being married to Ben. Like, if I was Allie and everybody else, you know what? If you want to marry Theo or whatever and not get your memories of the last couple years back, then you know what? I ain't coming to that stupid wedding. Because, first of all, I wouldn't even waste the outfit or the time. I would not waste the outfit or the time on that foolishness. And that wedding ain't nothing but foolishness. She's sitting there talking about, oh, I'm marrying Theo because I love Theo. He's my best friend. He makes me feel safe. All of those are nice reasons to marry somebody, but you're missing a very important ingredient, being in love. You know what I'm saying? I feel like she's marrying Theo because it's the safe choice for her. That's what I think she's doing. She's just trying to marry him. Oh, that's my friend. Okay, all those reasons alone are not reasons to get married. You need to be in love. And not once did she mention being in love with Theo. Not once. And I feel like if Theo goes through with this and she ends up getting her memories back and decides, okay, I want to be back with Ben, it's going to ruin her and Theo's friendship. It's going to probably destroy it. And Theo's not doing himself any, you know, great service by going through with this because even he admitted to Chad that he's not happy that she's using their marriage to piss Ben off or to get back at him. So if you know that's what she's doing, why are you going through with this? I think Theo's feelings for Sierra are real, but her feelings for him are not. I feel like when she says she loves Theo, I agree with Ben when he said this previously that she loves him like a puppy. You know what I'm saying? Like you love him as your friend. You do not love him as a husband material kind of thing. You don't love him as a husband or a man, as your man. You love him as a friend that he's always been to you. That's all you see when you see him. You know what I mean? So I don't know why even Chad is trying to tell Theo, don't, you're rushing through with this. And he is rushing it. Because Theo talking about we don't want to waste any more time or whatever. I can respect that and I get it. But even Chad is like telling him, yeah, you need to back up off of this. Everybody's been telling them that. Nobody's really been all that ecstatic about them getting married in the first place. Probably maybe Lonnie, but everybody else pretty much know what time it is with them. They know the real. You know what I mean? We all can see the real and why they're getting married. And it's going to be a disaster for everybody. Like, Theo's a fool to go through with this because you're just trying to break your heart on purpose at this point. Because you know good and well she not in love with you. And everybody keep trying to warn Theo. What you gonna do when she get her memory back and decide she want to be with Ben? What you gonna do? You gonna be looking like a sad ass puppy. Like, he better pull out of this thing. And even when she hugged Theo and stuff like that, she had this uncertain look on her face because she don't really want to go through with this. And I'm not here for her foolishness. So anyway, moving on from that. I am so mad that EJ does not know that Sammy slept with Lucas, because prior to all of this, I could have sworn when he came back to town, especially with all the stuff that he's been hinting around and saying and stuff and his facial expressions, I kept thinking EJ knew. EJ knew. That's what I kept thinking, that he got to know something. But he really is clueless about it. And he keeps on praising Sammy for sticking by him. I'm like, no, she didn't stick by you, sir. But the thing is, though, EJ did tell Sammy that, you know, if something like that were to happen to them, he would go crazy. He would snap. That's why it's in Sammy's best interest for him not to know. But EJ kept trying to put pieces together and trying to figure out what the hell was going on, because something in EJ's spirit just was not sitting right about that whole anniversary party. EJ's not stupid, by far. He's not dumb. So that's why he kept talking about it, because out of all the drama that Nicole just went through, why would she single Sammy out? EJ was trying to put it all together. So he even knew that he felt like the whole situation was staged. Like somebody put Xander up to doing it. Like it didn't happen by chance. It happened on purpose for it to be public. I'm like, finally, EJ. I said, see, I knew you wasn't dumb. EJ was putting that shit together. He was like, yeah, if 4 plus 4 equal 8, I know the math, I know arithmetic, I know what I'm talking about. And so Sammy had to confess at least part of it. Like, she told him basically that she paid Xander to do it, $1 million. And he was all giddy and laughing and stuff like that. I'm like, EJ, there ain't no shit to be proud of that she paying $1 million of y'all money. This some rich people problems, you know what I'm saying? And I noticed that on these shows. Hell, even in real life, that's some rich people shit. Who got $1 million at their disposal just to be paying people $1 million just to ruin somebody's life? Like, y'all that damn rich that you got $1 million at the ready just on standby just so you can ruin somebody? That is some rich people shit right there. That I can't relate. I cannot relate. I cannot. I seriously cannot. Sammy knows she still ain't shit. Like, she talking about, oh, because I care about my brother. You don't give a damn about Eric. All of this was her ego. All of this was because of her hatred of Nicole. That's what she did all of this for. Had nothing to do with her brother. Had nothing to do with it. Philip, you know, he was pretty much like, yeah, I'm going to let this letter come out. Because Philip's whole plan was for them to give the letter that Kristen wrote to EJ, to give it to Nicole and let Nicole give it to EJ. That's their whole plan. So that way Sammy doesn't suspect that Lucas has something to do with it or whatever. But Lucas sitting there backing down now, talking about some, oh, you know, he's giving up for now because EJ's dangerous and he doesn't want to hurt Sammy. If you were afraid of EJ being dangerous, then you never would have slept with his wife in the first place, knowing if he found out what his reaction would be. Like, I don't get that. So now all of a sudden, oh, EJ's dangerous, and because Lucas know that he can't handle EJ. He know that. Lucas might not be scared per se, but he know EJ also ain't nothing to play with. Because he knows how the Demiras do. When they get revenge on you, it's very swift. And it's very deadly. I mean, hell, look at Kristen. She was about to kill their asses. So you can imagine what EJ would do. But we all know EJ would probably be a little bit more clever than that. He's not going to be so direct to just lock you up and point a gun at you. He's a bit more clever with his schemes. You know, he learned from the best. Um, so of course, Lucas was giving up on it and just threw the letter in the trash. Something tells me subconsciously by him throwing that letter in the trash, I think subconsciously he wanted Philip to take that letter out. I think he did, because why not tear it up and throw it in the trash? Why put it in the trash hole? Especially a public trash that anybody, I mean, you never know. People like, why would anybody go through trash? Well, you never know. A homeless person could go through that shit. You never know. But for him not to tear it up and throw it in the garbage or something like that, that tells me subconsciously you wanted Philip to take that letter. Lucas, though, he could talk about, oh, he giving up all he wants to. He wants this shit to come out. That's what he want. And Philip took that letter right out that trash. He was like, all right, since you won't do it, I will. Because Philip was like, shit, you may be giving up, but Philip was like, I'm not. I mean, I think Philip is doing this because I always wondered that too. Like, what does Philip gain by giving Nicole that letter for EJ? Like, what do you gain from it? Because Philip doesn't get anything from it unless he's just doing this to really help Lucas or whatever. Um, I mean, who knows what his motivations are, but I guess. All I know is there's gonna be some fireworks when EJ find out about this shit. I know he gonna go off. You can always count on the Mirror Man to cause some hell. So anyway, I did enjoy the Nicole and Eric scenes. I really did because I feel like it was a conversation they needed to have. You know what I'm saying? It was a big conversation that they needed to have. Um, Nicole owned up to her shit. She was like, "Yeah, I was wrong for cheating or whatever." She owned it, and I'm glad Eric owned up to his part too. Eric was like, "Shit, I'm just as much to blame for all of this as you are," and I'm glad he realized that. You know what I mean? You went out of the country literally right after y'all got married. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, while you were gone, you kept re-enlisting. You kept extending your stay. You could have been came home a while back, but you kept extending it without even talking to Nicole. And that's what Nicole told him. She was like, he basically, the way he talked to her about going to Africa, he made it seem like she didn't have a say in the matter. Like this is something he's doing, and she's just gonna have to go along with it. He never gave her an option. He never discussed it with her as husband and wife. He basically dictated to her. You know what I mean? Like he dictated to her. And he admitted that he was wrong and he apologized if he did that or whatever. Maybe he didn't realize he was doing that. But that's what he was doing. Um and then on top of that, before he left for Africa, they made the decision and to allow Allie and her son Henry to stay with them. And then he just up and left after they made that decision. And that's what pissed Nicole off because now she felt alone. Not only does she have to help, Allie take care of Henry and have them in her home, she also has a young daughter that she's taking care of too, and she's a partner in Basic Black. So her plate was full, and she thought she was going to have Eric there to help her. But no, now she got to deal with all these people, kids in her house, a business to run, all by herself without her husband. And he just did not think about her feelings on it. And I do agree partly with Eric that she could have communicated all of this to him. I get that. Communication is key in a marriage. She could have communicated that, but, about how she was feeling about everything. But the problem is, I feel like even if she did communicate that to Eric, I don't think he would have came home. I don't think no time during that time he would have came home. But I am glad that they hashed everything out. They got everything out in the open, and they were just discussing things about where their marriage is going. Because she felt like no matter what she did, she was always going to be looked at as a sinner. And he was always going to be looked at as a saint. Even if he doesn't see himself in that manner. You know what I'm saying? But everybody in town sees him that way. And she felt like he brought out the best in her. Like he brought out her best version of herself when he's with her. But, when they're together or whatever, she just felt like he wasn't his best version with her. So I get it. And I feel like he's always going to do mission work. He's never going to stop going to Africa doing that kind of work. And I think it's noble that he's doing that kind of work. I think it's a beautiful thing. But how can you continue to do that kind of work when you have a wife and a stepchild? You know what I'm saying? How could you? The only way for that to really work is if he went to Africa permanently to do that work and Nicole and Holly went with him. That's the only way. But I don't see Nicole doing that. I don't see Nicole moving to Africa permanently. I don't see her doing it. She got a business to run. Everything she knows is in Salem. So I don't see her doing that. You know, if it was another state or something like that, maybe. But another country, I don't see her doing it. I don't think she would do that to her daughter. You know, I don't think she would feel like it's fair to Holly to just up and move her to a whole different continent. You know, um, and I have a feeling that Eric was going to keep going back to Africa. You know, he kept saying, "Well, I only got a few weeks left, and then I'm coming back permanently." Yeah, but then you would have found another reason to go back. How would that have worked? So I'm glad they made the conscious decision to just end that marriage. You know, because I don't see how that marriage could work unless he's permanently going to come back to Salem, like on a permanent basis. And I don't see how that's gonna. I don't see him doing it. You know, like I said again, if he went to Africa permanently, does he get paid to do that? Like, how much money does he get paid to do that? Because if Nicole gave up her life in Salem, how would they live off of what he makes doing mission work? Because we all know that kind of work does not come with a lot of money. So how would they live? You know, financially, how would they be able to support their lifestyle off of what he gets paid if she had to give up her career in Salem? You know what I mean? Like, you got to think about that. That factors into it. But I'm glad, you know, they said their goodbyes. They had a kiss, and you know, even though it hurt Nicole to say goodbye to her husband, I think they both realized it's for the best. You know, with the year that they've had, it was for the best. But anyway, this was a good episode. I enjoyed it. Hit the comment section, let me know what y'all thought about it, and I'll see you all later. Peace.